Use my phone as a... I think we're live. There we go. Hey, welcome back to All About the Geek, where we are doing our slow play, as I call it, stream of Valheim. And we are going to be searching for crypt, specifically looking for crypts, plural. So you might as well jump out of here, Newt. I'm going to take this boat down and just take the materials with us. So the plan here is pretty straightforward. We're going to go, there's this explore from here point that Newt has not seen, so he will be joining us, and we go through Blueberry Field 2 portal. And we're going to go and look for some swamps. Need to eat some food. We have equipped ourselves with food. I've got a stamina potion and some poison resistance because those are important to have. I've got a selection of arrows, not huge, but I do want some portal materials. So you know that on the last episode, we heavily diminished our supplies. I need 20 per portal. So I'm going to bring enough for 2 portals. So I need 20 eyes and I need 4 cores. So we'll get a couple of these portals geared up. So this one will become R1. And this one over here is swamp. So the idea is that we can use the R1 portal if we need to come back to rest, which we'll do at night because it's really hard for us to see. Or actually, it's really hard for viewers to see what's going on if we're playing at night. So we'll come back and rest. But in the meantime, we're going to jump through BBF2. Yeah, for sure. All right. There we go. So Newt is powered up in some bronze armor. I'm rocking some level 3 troll armor. So, all right. So this way. So you can see here, these are all blueberry bushes right here. So it's like, again, 7 or 8 blueberries right by the portal. So it means that like every couple of days I can collect 16 blueberries, which is why I've got whatever. I need wood for the workbench. Grab some workbench stuff. This is another great spot also because it's got 1, 2, 3, 4 tin deposits right here. If you want, we're not going to be able to go too terrible far with it. So walk the boat out into the water. We may, like, if we are able to get some iron straight away, then it might be worthwhile sailing back. We'll have the portal with us as well, so we'll have that as an option. I'm just going to take down the workbench. Yep, you can just put it in the boat. Absolutely. So we can grab that right away. I mean, while I do have a good supply of copper at the base, there's no such thing as too much copper. You use it for a lot of stuff, right? Like use it for braziers even well into the Iron Age, etc. Is there another one? Oh, here's the other one. It is 2 to 1 for making bronze, but you will also use the copper for sconces, so you don't need bronze for a sconce. You just need copper. All right. Where did you run off to? All right, we are ready to roll. Right. So we've got our carve. We have not explored anything outside. I mean, we've done we know what the side over here looks like. of course, we're gonna be like going right into the wind to begin with, because that's how these things always go. If this turns out to be just a stupid little lake, I'm gonna be a little annoyed. But I'm pretty sure we'll be able to exit out there. Oh yeah, I see it. Boom. Yeah, there's a little building there. I think I actually might have a... Yeah, I've got a portal there. Village too. But I'm pretty sure that we can get out this way. Yeah. This is not the way we'll be coming back. This was just a way to get to the far side of the island without having to sail the whole way. Yeah, right? All of the fishes. Okay. Looks like the recording is working this time. So I tried to record the building of the longhouse session, but for some reason it was marking that the drive that I record to wasn't available. But it was. I don't know what was up, but it was more than a little irritating. So like finally had this plan to like make some more scripted content, a cut down version of the stream for just the build, and had to abandon it. So disappointing. But I'm hoping that over here we're gonna turn south, largely because that's the way the wind is blowing. So it'll hopefully lead us to some swamp that isn't too super far away from as a boat trip. Like even if we can get a boat to here, we can run it back. It's not too far. That's a fair ways actually still. Who knows? There may be a lot of boat trips to bring the iron back. That is the way. I mean, if we're in a worst case scenario, we find some black forest nearby, we build a forge, and we get enough of it processed so we can build a long ship. So that way, at least the we can transport large volumes back to the base. I can't remember what the weight difference is between the iron ore and the refined. No, because it's 1-to-1. Yeah. No. Unlike Skyrim, where some things are, it's like gold ore is 2-to-1, and I think there's a couple of different ones. But oh, I can like drop the sails. We don't have to go slowly if we're going with the wind. So I asked Newt along to assist, largely because when you're sailing, it's helpful to have a second set of eyes to watch for things like serpents and whatnot, but also because, largely it's just sailing. And there may not be anything super exciting going along, so there can be some conversation for all y'all to enjoy. As we do. Well, I'm staying in the shallows, right? Like we're still in technically Black Forest. We have not entered the ocean biome, as it were, which is where you would find sea monsters. It looks like there's more Black Forest on either side of us. So I'm hopeful that one of these will give us some swamp. I think I'm going to lean towards the right-hand side. I have I have a good feeling. Of course, I might be wrong, and we may just wind up running into some planes and then running away. Run away! Yeah. Which is another good reason to have someone else along, because they can hopefully take out any death skeetos that we run into while I am running away with the boat and them. We're not leaving Newt behind. That would be unfortunate. So I've been trying to think of a reasonable way that I could stream with the Mando helmet on. Yeah, like literally. So for Christmas, my most amazing girlfriend got me the Black Edition Mandalorian uh Din Djarin's helmet, the Beskar helmet, which is totally wearable. Um and I think would be awesome. I feel like that's plains over there. No, that's meadows. Um so I'm like, that would be super cool to do on a stream at some point, but I need to figure out a mic issue, because talking through it into the pod mic that I'm using right now would not be phenomenal. I'd probably need to use a separate input, like um, a lavalier mic kind of mounted up in the helmet, or something like that. Or alternatively, get like, if I had like a lavalier mic that with an XLR input, do something like that. That would also work. But that just seems like an unnecessary added expense for something that is probably not actually a great experience for myself. We get the wind. Yeah, but even those, like, they were not great, right? Like when we're talking, yeah, and audio is such a huge thing with YouTube, right? Like if you're talking about priorities, and this is something that a lot of people have talked about, and definitely something that I know, is that if the audio is bad, it doesn't matter how good the video quality is, you don't want to listen to garbage. And since there's a percentage of the population who listen primarily, like I probably treat YouTube a little bit like a podcast a lot of the time. I don't necessarily pay close attention to what's happening on screen. So if the audio sucks, I'm gonna turn away from that video, watch something else. Yep. Yeah. So that's where, I mean, don't get me wrong. There's definitely some value in having good video quality, and that's why I've made an effort to do both. But if I'm gonna, I mean, when I look at where I've put the money, especially for streaming and stuff, it's definitely been in the audio. Um, I've put more investment into the audio than I have into the video aspect of it for this. And I've paid attention to it for my scripted videos as well, by getting a separate voice recorder and a solid lavalier mic that plugs into it. Um, I could have easily bought a new camera for what I've spent on the audio gear, but my camera does a good job. I don't I don't need a new camera. I mean, and let's be clear here, as a techie, and as and coined by my friend Newt, um, a consumer whore, um, I want a new camera. I have specific reasons. Like there's features. Oh, rock. Yeah, I should have remembered the rock. Let's go back. You're gonna jump back in. Um, yeah. Um, uh, Yeah, I would love to get a new camera, but there's for specific reasons. Like originally, it's like, oh, I want a new camera because I want a new camera, but now I'm kind of like, okay, so there's features that I want on a camera. I want to go mirrorless because they are lighter weight, generally speaking. There's definitely mirrorless cameras that weigh more than my current T7i. Um, but I the biggest practical reason is, oh, we should probably put in and zip back home and rest for the night. No. Um, but the biggest practical reason for me is when I'm shooting photos, I have on many occasions wound up with some crappy shots because what you're looking through on the viewfinder on an SLR is not what you're going to get. Troll? All right. Oh, we can back away. You're not in a position to fight him, Newt. Run away. I will pick you up. Are you drowning? I'm coming. Just give me a sec. You're gonna drown. All right. That's right. I'm gonna set up here on this rock over here. And I will kill the troll. Isn't that the way though? Like I did that. I don't know if this anyone who's watching this later, because it doesn't look like anyone's watching right now, but anyone who watches this later, if you watch one of the earlier streams when when I first go looking for a swamp because I wanted to get turnip seeds. I went questing for turnip seeds so I could build jacko turnips because I was concerned that once Halloween was passed, they were going to take the ability to make those away, or the ability, yeah, take away the ability to make those. And I jumped off my boat and had not been paying attention to my stamina, and basically just biffed it right into a troll. Oops. Yep. Oh, hey, look, a troll. All right, no, let's rest first. Well, I didn't, and it's still night. Oh, there's enemies. Oh, no. The one thing, no, the problem is that because the back wall of the, you need to come back here because I can't sleep if you're not here. Right. With the back wall of the longhouse being so close to the outer wall of the fortress, um, it means that if there's enemies just on the other side of the wall, I won't necessarily have seen them and they aren't going to be triggered necessarily, but they could be too close for me to rest. I don't really want to do that. It means flipping everything around and then just. I mean, I could push the wall back potentially, although there's not lots of space back there. I can't jump through those windows. All right, so we want to go through R1. No, I don't think so. The troll was far enough away that it wouldn't be an issue. He was ignoring me. Oh yeah, he's still up there. It was a dark and stormy morning. I kind of see a new... Oh, there you are. I'm over here. I'm backing it up. I'm keeping an eye on the troll. Troll. Troll is going away. Do do do. Yeah. You found a troll. They have a cave troll. Yep. Right? Pain and injury, my only weaknesses. Oh, yeah. So we doing some new types of videos in the new year. Yeah, some instructional type videos on laser quill products. Yeah, so our buddy Matt, who runs Laser Quill, is back up and running after 18 months off due to a fire. Um, and for those who know, I mean, he also ran a game store, which is not back. He is, but he did enjoy his creative process with Laser Quill. So even though he did not reopen the game store, he is keeping the Laser Quill business going. And his first, whoa, Jeebus. Let's go a little bit slower and not full on Dukes of Hazzard those waves. Right? Yes. Anders Saboten. Yep. But anyway, so we were chatting yesterday. We went and saw Spider-Man No Way Home. Not going to give you any spoilers. Great film. You should go watch it when you have a chance, or wait for it to come out on home video, whatever. Just let it. Do make sure you catch it. And that's everyone, not just Newt. But while we were there, he was chatting about the fact that he's had some questions about, oof. It feels like it was a big oof on the boat. I think, yeah, I'm going to put us in and do some repairs. I don't think that we've moved all that far from... No, we've moved forward, but we haven't moved super far forward. But yeah, so anyways, he was asking me, he's had a couple of questions about it. Sea monster? Oh, yeah, I see it. Right? All right, let's move in. Yeah. Anyway, so he asked me if I would be willing to do some videos about that. I'm like, of course. So there'll be some videos on how to use or assemble some products potentially. Yeah, the boat was at like 50%. But we're good. We're good. All right. So yeah, so it'll be some how to assemble or how to use different products. I didn't even start moving it. It was just like, oh, the waves. Let's just drop the boat 10 feet So yeah, so we're gonna do some stuff like that. Although exactly. And yeah, so the interesting thing is that it'll help the ideas. Like, this is not sponsored or anything like that. I'm not going to be getting any product for free or anything. Um, but what's going to happen is it'll be a kind of a symbiotic relationship where his Etsy store will drive some traffic towards the channel. Because if you're looking for those sorts of products, chances are you're going to have some interest in what we're going on about here at All About the Geek. And likewise, if you're enjoying the content here, chances are he's got products that you might be interested in. So it is, I think it's a really good, it's one of the few times that you can do that whole, I'll do this for you for exposure sorts of things. I'm not a big fan of that. Like, like an artist deserves to get recognition. Now, in this case, I'm definitely the one who I think gets the biggest benefit out of this. For Matt, he doesn't want to make the videos. He has no interest in that aspect of it, but he knows there's value in having them. So he's got more traffic going to his Etsy page than I have going to my YouTube channel right now. So when he approached me about this, of course I said yes, because it benefit, like if I were to really put on the scales who's getting the best bang for buck here, it's probably Matt. For me to do a couple of videos every once in a while, as he's rebuilding products and stuff, I'm getting the best benefit out of that. So the first one he's going to do are BattleTech movement modifier dice. So they're D6s specifically designed to help track what movement modifiers, both to shooting and to defense, you get. And they come in different flavors for different types of movement. So walking, running, or jumping. And then he has also done in the past products like paint racks. So I have all of my GW Citadel paints are stacked and organized in paint racks designed by Matt. Now, they're not that unique compared to ones that other companies have done, but most of the other ones have built them for Army Painter. And my other request for his, because I did have one from, I think Broken Token did one that I bought, when I requested that he design these, was that they were not as tall. So I have a shelf above my hobby space, and at the time my intent was to have my paints spread out there. Because that is now doubling as a workspace, they're not there, although they may go back. I haven't decided. There's some thinking I'm doing about how I'm going to redesign my space going forward. But the idea is that they fit under the shelf well enough that they're not in the way all the time. And I can access the top row of them easily. So other ones were taller and a little bit shallower. They didn't stick out as far, but for my needs, I wanted one that was layered differently. And it works quite well. I'm really happy with them. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of these paint racks that after they were designed, I bought. I know they were quite popular at the store as well. Like he did not have them in stock. Anytime you did a batch of them, they sold relatively quickly, because even someone new getting into a hobby that has painting involved and was buying paints, it was obvious, like, for the extra $18 or $20 that they cost, was a nice way to store your, $70, $80, $100 investment in paint. Because, I mean, each of them holds like 20 paint pots, right? So, or more. I can't remember what they hold. They might hold like 30. I have to take a look at them again. But yeah, so, but the interesting thing is, I've got 8 of them. So I've got another one there that's empty. So basically what happened is when, so he's got a new laser machine, but it doesn't work exactly the same as his old one. So he's got to redo all of his digital assets for laser cutting. And the first one he's working on is the BattleTech dice because it was one of his best performers. And apparently there was someone else who, even before the fire, that was copying what he was doing. But that site has gone away. So there's no one else apparently currently making a product similar to this. So he really kind of right now has this, this really good opportunity to be the only one kind of doing this thing. Yeah. Yeah. I started playing like in 91, 92. Yeah. Well, I mean, Catalyst, I mean, it's really interesting, right? Because of course FASA Games, who founded it, doesn't exist anymore. The original founder of it, has moved on to other projects. And I believe his son runs WizKid Designs, who had it for a while. But at the end of the day, most people preferred the classic BattleTech. So it's always been kind of fostered by the community for years. It really feels kind of like, in some ways, it feels a little bit for the computer nerds out there, like it's like the Linux of tabletop games. There's a huge community following, similar to Shadowrun in that respect, right? Here, another property that FASA created, and that had this huge following, especially in Europe. Like in Germany, Shadowrun is like the business. It's had a strong cult following there for decades. Which makes sense. It's got that. Oh, it's that kind of punk. Like I mean, it's cyberpunk, right? Like it's a cyberpunk style game, um, which just tends to be, I don't know. To me, in my mind, I'm like, yeah, it totally makes sense that Europe would latch onto it. I think we're going to sail all the way around this island and find no swamp. Well, there's a big chunk of it up north that we haven't searched, and it's entirely possible there's some swamp. Like swamp isn't necessarily always going to be on. I mean, maybe swamp is always on the ocean. I don't know. Honestly, it's like one of those things. Yeah, I've seen lots of biomes and stuff and lots of different maps, but it doesn't necessarily mean I have seen all of them. So we'll see. But yeah, so BattleTech, Catalyst Game Labs now carrying the torch and producing buckets of fiction every year. No, if you want to talk about a world that's got a lot of fiction, BattleTech probably is. I would say in the top 5 for sci-fi genre that has like just volume, like by volume. I can't necessarily speak to the quality of it all. I've read criminally small amounts of the background outside of the main game related books. But I've been filled in very thoroughly by Newt, who has read considerably more than me, but I even think your quantity of reading probably pales compared to what's available. But I mean, they've had writers like Michael Stackpole, who's a fairly prolific writer, and Randall Bills, who actually is now one of the leads at Catalyst Games. He started as a fan writing fanfic and eventually got published, and his stuff has now become, canon inside the BattleTech universe. Yeah, I did. That he was the first one. Yeah. Michael Stackpole was the first one I mentioned because he's a prolific writer in he did numerous books for the Star Wars universe. He's done in what is now the Legends series of books that are not considered canon. Although, let's be clear, we've all been extremely pleased. I'm going to try to go through. I have a good feeling about if I navigate through this really crappy spot here, that we'll find some swamp. Swing hard. Here we go. Blaine. Oh, there's swamp. I was rewarded. Yep. No, it really feels like for my standpoint, I think one of the things that's always been a draw for BattleTech for me has been the accessibility of it, from the standpoint that it feels like something that we can achieve potentially as humans, right? Like it's within the realm. This feels like it may be just a small swamp. I'm working on that. We might be able to set up a little um blah 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 a farm, a Surtling farm. My coal. There's two Surtling spawners there. Yeah, I'm gonna take us in to the Black Forest here, and we'll set up a portal and do a little exploring on foot. Um, but yeah, like when you've got a world that's that deep, and so much going on without, like you say, bringing in too much crazy, fantastic elements, it really is something that I think works well, um, and makes it, like you say, very accessible. Um, I think in a lot of the same ways that even something like I feel the narratives that we are getting right now from, I'm just going to set up a portal. Um, we've got R1 portal to set up. We can make sure it's defended. Oh, hey, look, some blueberries. Actually, not a bad little blueberry patch here. No, we don't need to put too much defenses up just yet. I think we're gonna leave a portal here. This may become a permanent portal. Um, yeah, let's head back to base because it is night and getting dark, and being rested for dealing with what's over there is not a bad idea. Um, yeah, so lots of great stories in BattleTech. Um, and because it's so big, it's like, while there are definitely like trilogies and stuff in there, it's not like say Wheel of Time, where there's 13 14 books and you have to read them all to understand what's going on. You can read just random sections. You're not wearing pants, dude. Can't believe you're not wearing any pants. Better. That's how you scare away the enemies. Don't wear pants. So yeah. So lots of easy accessible material. All right. So um it's massive, right? Yep. All right, we got a couple of Draugr. Okay. Oh, there is a lot. We can deal with this. Just got to be smart about it. He just ran right by me. All right. So Surtling farms are lovely if you've never built one. I feel that they are far less uh cheatery than like the Grey Dwarf farms. That doesn't mean I wouldn't ever build a Grey Dwarf farm. I'm just like, I don't know. I can go and farm Grey Dwarves actively. This just replaces building kilns and logging. Nice. Oops. Yeah, so this is not necessarily what I was expecting, but this is not a bad thing to have happen. Did you not grab poison potion? I did. Yeah, yeah. When you're used to a higher tier food, I have to say it's really interesting because when I came back to this after playing in the world with Lucas for a while, I was like, oh wow, I have to be cautious. And I died once. I'm like, all right, let's be smarter about this. Let's take it easy. Um, and I don't need to rush things. Although I have to say, I've been pretty lucky in that I haven't been raided at the base. I think I've been raided once or twice, but there was a huge stretch of time there where I had not defeated either of the first bosses. Right, like played like 60 days or something before I went after either of them. R1. All right. That's because Oh, because something took it down. Yep, the portal's been destroyed, and there's a Grey Dwarf beating on the boat. So let's repair the boat, because it was almost dead. R1 is reconnected. All right, so I'm just gonna go and see. There's like a whole bunch of stuff. Oh, there must have been like a big fight between um the leeches and stuff over here because there's a bunch of Grey Dwarf drops in the water. Resin, wood, eyes. Yeah, because the Grey Dwarves and the denizens of the swamp do not get along. Oh, yes. There we go. I don't need the wood or the stone. Other things. I mean, this is not a bad size swamp. Oh, it's not. It's still a pinner swamp, I think, but yeah. All of the leech bits. All right. Stamina's okay. Let's just slowly work our way. I got this. Okay, I'll get the Draugr. Yep. More coal. Well, I'm gonna. Oh, yeah. I mean, this is going to be a great spot for collecting Surtling cores and um yeah. Well, we can farm this area for. Whoa, frick. Apparently. Ha ha ha. Oh, I've got a plan. Yeah, there's a body pile right here. The troll can fight some Draugr. Yep. Oh, some exploration here. So that turned out to be a nothing of a swamp, but yep. All right. All right. Troll is gone. Don't need that. Don't need that. I'll take those. Not worry about that. I'm going to need to run some of this stuff back to base. A couple more blueberry bushes. Yeah, this is. I think we're going to wind up creating a permanent. Did you finish off? Oh, you didn't kill the body pile? Okay. Are you still on this side of the portal or are you back at base? Okay. Let's see what follows us and stop it from destroying the portal. Some more entrails. All right, so it looks like portal should be safe-ish. All right. Nothing else is following. All right. Should be able to head back relatively safely. And drop off what we've got. So, some treasure, some letters. Eyes, I'll keep. Resin. Drop the regular wood. Cores, I'll keep that. So I need drop coal, food bits. Organs and oozes. Blueberries. And trophies. And then coal goes over here. Get some more coal going in the kiln. Even though now with that, I can probably relatively safely. I should grab portal materials for a permanent portal there too. Certainly cores go kind of behind where I'm at right now. Yeah. Where it says cores. Of course, that's where it goes. Yeah, that's everything I should need. We're going to put swamp TBD. We're going to also have cores. Actually, let's take down this fur. Cores, and then there we go. All right, so let's. We got. It's not lots. You know what? We're just gonna run back through here. We'll grab some wood to build a little palisade around the portal. I'm going to build a quick little, just a little mini fort, just basically big enough for the portal, the bench, and a couple of chests for us to put stuff in. If you want to go kick down the door for a few minutes, that is perfect. All right. We can probably we're ready to head out when you're back there, Newt. We'll probably head back to base, rest, and then carry on with some sailings. Since we have explored the extent of that itty bitty tiny little swamp. Yeah, I'll worry about setting up a farm for it later. I want to try to find some crypts because having the coal is lovely, but not helpful if I don't have anything to smelt with it. Though that R1 portal's coming out because that one's coming with us. There is a portal on the inside of the base there. Fill that up. There's a boxes for trophies around the end. I'm not worrying about sorting the trophies. They're all equally useless at this point. Drop off my seeds. That's a big 10-4 there, buddy. Yep. Yeah, a little bit. Not super bad. I mean, I did not stay up till midnight last night. I'm like, you know what? 2021, I do not respect it enough to see it right till its closure. It did not deserve me staying up till midnight. You know what? Betty White, I love her because she died and did not taint 2022 with her death. Right? Like, let's look at it this way. I also saw a number of different things about how she didn't die. She went kicking and screaming, taking 2021 with her. Also, a point that I like to work with. I think that's also a valid, a valid view on that. Holy smokes! There was a Draugr right on the other side of the portal. Yep, I came out and there was a freaking Draugr right here. Oh, that's quite all right. This is cores, right? All right, so we are. Cool. You know, I do like that sometimes when I'm mining to not wind up with excess stone, or at least to separate it out. So like I'll mine out a copper vein and not pick anything up, and then I can come back and when I'm ready to pull the material up, I'll turn auto pickup back on. But it means that I can just keep going until my pickaxe breaks and not worry about running out of weight and why is stuff suddenly not being picked up. I mean, I know why, but yeah, I think what I'll do is I'll come back later and figure out the best place. I think there's probably a couple of really good spots between the two, um, like even maybe on that little stone outcropping there, that rock. I think I'll build a base there. But I think that's a really good that'll be a separate, I'll do that on a separate stream slash and or maybe I'll do it as a video. Maybe I'll just record it and do it as a video standalone. So, because it's a nice compact build, right? Like it doesn't need to be super fancy. It can just be really short and sweet. Like a little 5-minute building the farm. Definitely want to probably take care of that. Probably want to take care of that body pile later too. All right. Yeah. Yeah. It's one of those things where what I like to do is if I can do it without drawing too much attention from the Draugr, I will try dealing with it through by shooting it. This is just a lake. Yeah. All right. So what we are in the middle of is an inland lake. Yeah. If you look over there, there's it just closes up. That's fine. Could be swamp on the other side of this black forest. Over here somewhere. Maybe. Yeah. No. Yeah. Oh, tide, don't go, don't. Oh, yeah. Sorry, we left these yokels alive. Oops, we're gonna run into that one. Lots of space. No, don't, not on the tight fit. It's on like the lots of space that Jason runs into the rocks. Yeah. We'll go back around. There we go. Yep. Those are actually really, like, honestly, fairly close together. Kind of surprised. Yep. Probably. Yeah. Yeah. That is lots of bad. But you know what it isn't? Still no friggin' crypts. Looking for crypts. The title of this stream is "Looking for Crypt" with an S in brackets. You know, if you have, I get that if you have to explain the joke, you didn't. It's not a very good joke. It's an inside one. If you and I don't know if you are familiar with the comic Looking for Group web comic, old web comic. It was yeah, it was an old D&D themed web comic from the early days of web comics when they were like they were the pre in my mind, like web comics were almost like a precursor to YouTube because right, it was a great place for someone who is working on a portfolio of art and stuff to demonstrate their writing chops and their illustration chops, build a portfolio and possibly even a following online. Um, it's very cool. You have Penny Arcade is one of them. Control Alt Delete was another big one. Play which one? I'm not familiar with that one. Ah, nice. Yep. Red versus blue. Ah, yes, the old Makima. Back when it was like actually like hard to capture video game play and stuff, right? Oh yeah, yeah. No, what I'm talking about, like you think about red versus blue, like doing red versus blue today would actually be really quite a lot easier with, tools like OBS and video capture devices that we have now that we didn't have back when red versus blue first came out in what 2004, 2005, right? Like pioneers, man. Yeah, it was just totally them having some fun, right? Oh yeah, yeah. Penny Arcade was just a couple of friends who got together, and you know, I don't know if they started out looking to make it a little um geeky empire, but you know, that's the way it goes sometimes, right? Like you have this cool idea and it just takes off. My cool ideas that I had when I was their age were all like requiring advanced engineering degrees and technology that still doesn't exist today. I want a an exoskeleton suit that has all of the cool powers of like Iron Man, but I want it to look like Goliath from Gargoyles, and there was totally a robot version of yeah. That's some, there might have been. It's been a while since I watched it. I actually watched the first episode recently because it's on Disney Plus. Cannot say that it necessarily immediately holds up phenomenally. I have to watch more of it. It's a series that I think warrants a revisit. Like when you talk about rebooting a series or something, I think there's really some potential to um, take a show like Gargoyles and do a modern take on it. And it would be you could do it and have it be fresh and entertaining. Yeah, Tailspin, Darkwing Duck. Yep, Sky Pirates. It reminded me of Crimson Skies. Earlier, we were talking about FASA games, um, and that's another one that I think that's one that I would love to see Catalyst redo. What the heck? This swamp? That's crazy. Got like a small armada of leeches following us. I'm sorry, son. They got us. Nice. All right, so there's some black forest over there. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go wide to the right of the swamp and then park us and put up the R1 portal again. We can come back and explore this swamp on foot. It's a plank. It's a plane, man. Yep. Guck is it's one of those things. It's like, once you kind of figure it out, like the biggest thing is you have to build scaffolding basically to collect it. Yep. That's where we're gonna. Yeah. We're gonna go in and we're gonna repurpose this fort as our little forward base. Leech got me. Yeah, there was a leech. It did. Yeah. Oh, I did open it, but I need space for the. Do I not have enough? I do not apparently have enough wood for. Oh, because I dropped all my wood off. Oh, because I didn't grab the bench. I left the bench the previous location. That's okay. It's for. Oh yeah. Well, it's possible that during one of the updates they kind of backfilled some of that because, I mean, Iron Gate always wanted the oops, had always wanted the game as much as possible during early access for it to be oh shoot. I've got visitors. Watch the leech. All right, the portal's up. I'm gonna go and do a drop because my inventory is full and my weapons are breaking. Okay, so stone, wood, feathers. treasure. Fetters. Stone. Wood. Resin. Some organs. All right. Repair the weapons. Course is marked on there. Seeds are in the other. At this point, I haven't worried too much about splitting them out, so. There we go. Ooh, got a leech trophy for the first time. They go under the berries and shrooms at the bottom. All right, I've installed a gate on the little fort and some porcupines outside. So my primary intent right now is some exploration of this swamp area. It's not quite dark yet, but it's going to be soon. It's foggy. All right, so I'll head back. It's hard to tell because of the fog. You weren't there a second ago. Oh, the loveliness of day-night cycles in games. I think it's a great. Oh yeah, it's totally getting dark. It's one of those things that sometimes is hard to tell in a swamp because it's already just that little bit dusky already. Yeah. Yep. I do like that I've largely got the buildings close enough together that you can run from one to the other without getting too wet in a storm. Which I feel like makes sense. Like they would have like the land would have been precious, so you don't want to like spread out too much. You can't have the urban sprawl of a Calgary in a Viking ring fort. I'm sure. Yeah, you could get me some really good info. I'm sure. Yeah. Do you have a poison potion? Okay, go grab one. Go back to base and grab one. because it would be bad for you to travel in here without one. Well, I think for me, one of the big things that makes me think of it is knowing the difference between the stats on the lion versus the stats on uh Sogard here. Right? Like Sogard has pretty solid um stats across the board because he hasn't died much. Because I'm being really cautious when I'm playing solo. Whereas when I've been playing in the world with you and Lucas, a little more YOLO. Yep. There's times where the running is important, times where it's not. So, yep. They were, there was a bunch of them, there was a bunch uh, of materials that were dropped from Grey Dwarves. Um, and the other one is fighting some Grey Dwarves that came in. Cool. Oh. Oh, the abomination. Nope. They give poison resistance. You can build armor from their drops. Oh, I'm out of fire arrows. Okay. I don't know. Oops, that was considerably less good than I had hoped for. I'm not seeing any crypts still. Okay. Have the friends talk to each other. All right, I'm coming. Okay, good. It looked like it was coming after me. Looks like it is again. It's a very efficient logger. But the armor you get from it apparently gives you some poison resistance. Um, but it makes you more susceptible to fire, which makes sense. It's wooden armor, right? looks like it's going out into the ocean, so I'm good with that. I'm going to head back to base and get some wooden arrows. Because I think that'll be a better way to fight it. Feathers. Let's put that in there. Feathers. I need to get rid of some stuff. Yeah. I don't know what. I mean, that's honestly, it's the first one I've encountered. So, yep. That's fair. That's a good call. Good question. And it's one that I cannot answer. But I've got 160 fire arrows, so I will come back and equip you as well. I think if the two of us are taking it down with fire arrows, that will. That's fine. There's some fire arrows. Do we have eyes on the beastie? Okay. Crypty. I don't know. Like, there isn't a spawner around here that I've seen. Bloody hell. I see it. I have no idea. I guess we'll find out once we take this one down. I'm going to try it with the axe. Yeah. And a Draugr. Frig. Yeah. And I got trapped between it and two Draugr, so I died. Run away. I'll quickly grab some food and then race back. How are you making out with the beasties? Okay. Roger, Roger. Yes, I need to get some iron to upgrade the cauldron so we can make the sausages, because I've got the materials for sausages, but I've not had the recipe technically. No. There we go. One dead abomination. Cool. All right, so I've got root and some abomination trophy. So yeah, so root I guess is what you make. So I got 5 root. I'm guessing that's not going to be quite enough. Oh, you also get guck from it. That's cool. Right? All right, so I'm full. My inventory is like right full. So I think we should head back and drop stuff off. Okay. That's all right. Yeah. Okay, so root hallbrick or root harness is 10 root and 10 ancient bark, and root leggings is also 10. So it's going to take a little bit. All right. I think though that is where I'm going to call the stream. We found some swamps, still have not found some crypts, so hopefully we'll find some. I'll probably keep looking off a stream, and when we come back, I will show you what we've found. But until next time, I want to thank you for tuning in. And as always, I want to remind you to work your wonk. I hope you have a fantabulous 2022, and keep it geeky.